15 and last day of our training. Okay, so in this video we are going to study about addiction and recovery. We have studied a lot of sensitive topic. We have studied a lot of things about related to counseling and things. Now there are another sensitive topic, which is addiction. Okay, it is sensitive, at the same time it is very gray. Why? Because a lot of people don't talk about it in society, and like it is considered as a very taboo thing, and it is still there is a stigma related to addiction. Okay, first, it is not something very bad, or it doesn't reflect anyone's weakness. Similarly, mental health disorders are already considered as a weakness of a person, but it is not a weakness. It is a brain disease which can happen to anyone, and which can happen to like anyone who is been to a situation and have a physiologically and like morphology which is required for addiction. Okay. It includes substance and behavior. Okay, substances, you guys all know, all the addictive substances which have a kind of drug in it, and which are very addictive, which bring dopamine shots in my brain, are kind of stuff which is required for addiction. At the same time, there are behavior which are there. Okay, which a person can get addicted to, like porn, or like gaming, video gaming, or stuff like surfing, or like nowadays reel is being very addictive. Okay, people are just rule scrolling a lot. Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, so this is comes under behavioral addiction and substance abuse. Okay, so substance abuse, you do guys understand what substance abuse is. Okay, so it is influenced by biology, mind, and society. Okay, if you have a biology, because there are genetic factor associated with addiction too. If the mother have drink or have consumed any kind of addictive stuff, so the child can born with a like tweaks and withdrawal symptoms at the very early age. Okay, then there's a mind which is not weak but is prone to get addicted. Okay, at the same time, there's society and societal factor which brings trauma or some kind of stuff to a person's life, which make that person's addicted to any kind of stuff. Okay, understand, we are very close to having any kind of mental disorders. Okay, we are just blessed that we have not gone through whatever the person who is with mental disorders going through. Okay, we have a good family which is supporting us, or if not family, then peers are there, then there's therapists are there, people are there who don't know what is therapist is. Okay, who are in a like a relationship which is very toxic. Okay, who are in a like workplace where there's no rest. Okay, so there can be many situations a person can dealing with. So yeah, we are just blessed. Okay, we are not just weak or strong, there's nothing like that. We are just blessed that we don't have that consequences in our life. Okay, what happens when a person is addicted? What is addiction? First is loss of control. Okay, loss of control from start to end of addiction. There's a loss of control we have seen. Okay, either their tolerance, because of the tolerance. Okay, the person drink a lot, or eat, or like do any kind of stuff like a sniff or some kind of stuff, or like playing games or something. So he don't have control over it. Okay, he's doing it in excess amount. Okay, at the same time, there is a compulsive use of that thing. Okay, because of withdrawal symptoms are there. Okay, we'll understand what withdrawal, tolerance and stuff are like this. So first is loss of control and compulsive use of behavior or substances. Okay, so substance and behavioral types are there, which we have already discussed. Affect brain reward system. So there are dopamine. Okay, we have know about what is dopamine is. Dopamine is happy hormones. So whenever a person have a strike of dopamine in his head, he is having a happy hormone, or he's just feeling happy. Okay, so there's no evidence of happiness or something, but in his brain he feels like that he is happy. Doing what? Like if you watch a movie, there's dopamine response. If you are traveling with your loved ones, there's dopamine response. If you're reading a novel which is very good, like any kind of novel which you like, so of your favorite author or something, so there's dopamine response. Yeah, so dopamine shots are there. Okay, so now the person is having a dopamine in his head, and that dopamine create a tolerance power toward everything, and because of that the person now wants more, because there are withdrawal symptoms attached to it. Okay, so understand the evidence based intervention. Okay, so what happen when you are addicted? There is physical damage, emotional damage, and social damage. Okay, now understand the etiology of like not the etiology but the cycle of addiction. First, if you are having like if you are drinking a glass of water, we must say you are addicted to a glass of water. You drink a glass of water and you get 2 points of dopamine. Okay, because you have tolerance till 2 points of dopamine. Okay, reading a novel bring 1.5 dopamine level. Okay, so you just like having a glass of water instead of having a novel. Why? Because novel bring 1.5 points of dopamine. At the same time, a glass of water is bringing 2 points of dopamine. Okay, now if you are drinking again and again, what happening is now that it is decreasing to a level of 1.5 or 1. Okay, so now your dopamine level is what? Reaching to a similar level of reading a novel. Okay, now we want to get more dopamine. To do what will you do? Like instead of 1 glass, you will switch to 2 glass. Okay, what 2 glass will do? 2 glass will provide you 4 points of dopamine. Okay, actually you require just more than 1.5, which could be anything like reading another kind of novel, or like watching a movie could bring like 2 point of dopamine, or 1.5, so more than 1.5. Okay, so that is why now you have took 4 level of dopamine. Now things related to that, like things under 4 level of dopamine is of no use of. Okay, because you are now at stage of 4. Okay, so now everything is bored against your glass of water. Similarly, the substance the person is taking. Now you will increase 2 points, so it will go to 6. Okay, now you have to tolerate 4. To do that, you build more tolerance and you bring more tolerance, and to which you drink, or you consume, or you just behave in a certain manner which is very addictive. If you don't do that, what happen is you are not getting dopamine out of anything. That bring withdrawal symptoms in you. Okay, because of that withdrawal symptom, there could be physical withdrawal symptoms, where what you are doing is where you are like sweating, or you are feeling cold, or you are shivering, or you are having a body ache or some kind of stuff, you vomiting, or headache or this kind of stuff which a person experience when he is not in a intoxicated form. Okay, so he get intoxicated with the dopamine requirement, according to which he got intoxicated, and if it is does not match, he got withdrawal symptoms, and because of this it got dependence. Okay, because of that you are not reading any novel, you are not eating your favorite food, you are not visiting places, you are not doing yoga, you are not doing exercise, whatever naturally bring dopamine and healthy dopamine in you. Okay, because you have now got a artificial method of doing that. Okay, so that is why it affects your physical, emotional and social health. Okay, so there are physical, emotional and social damage which occur, sometime reversible and sometime irreversible in someone's life. Okay, real life struggle and global rise it is. Okay, now you know implementing intervention, you guys are very good at implementing intervention, because we have discussed it 3 or 4 times, where you have to assess the behavior. Assessment could be done by n number of assessment tools are there. Cage questionnaire is there, cage questionnaire, which in which there's questions like which confirms that the person is addict, and he can't just like by just opening eyes, like when he wake up he just want his addicted substance. Okay, the substance is addicted to. Okay, there are biological tests which are there, like urine test, or which we can conduct, or like blood test or some kind of test which confirm that person is addicted and is in influence of a substance, and is like using over and over. Okay, according to that, set a SMART goal. Okay, in that SMART goal, what's happening is, in that SMART goal we are setting a SMART goal where we know what we have to do. Okay, it includes a lot of things, like detoxing that person, at the same time preventing it from relapsation. Okay, so a SMART goal here, SMART goal is going to be very elongated. Okay, not very specific or very crisp, but it is going to be a process. Okay, a procedural SMART goal is set. Then you have to just plan the monitor things. Okay, now involve parents, teachers or professional which are required. Family is required, society is required, professional, like if you can't settle that person into your clinic, go in a rehabilitation centers or de-addiction centers, you can send that person. De-addiction centers are not like the we see in movies, that it is kind of asylum, or where like it is very kind peaceful things. Okay, it could be like a yoga retreat. Okay, not everywhere, but somewhere it is like a yoga retreat. Okay, regular review the progress, okay, which is required, in every time we are implementing intervention, it is same process we follow. Okay, now specific challenges like genetics or brain chemistry is responsible for that person. So if there's instances of that, what we have to do is we have to seek for pharmacological treatment also. Okay, in not majorly in behavioral symptoms, but majorly in substance abuse, there are prominent features which are responsible, so we have to help accordingly. Okay, trauma and mental health, we have to access, like if there's trauma associated with that person, we have to go in a sensitive zone and provide safety to that person. Now that person will be comfortable to us and will be empowered, and then we'll look after his mental health and we understand what is going through it, then we can start therapy sessions. Okay, so before that we have to detox that person. Okay, stress, peer and media influences should be there. Okay, if that person understand, if that person is in stress, started drinking or doing that behavior, or that a peer pressure or the media influences on that person. Okay, similarly we have to set intervention plan. If we understood what is the cause, then we can set a good intervention plan. At the same time, concern about relapsation. Okay, so what happen is like the person, if you are traveling through a forest, okay, you have built a path and now you are traveling to it. Now coming back like A to B point, you have went in 15 minute or 17 minute with creating a path. Now like returning back is 2 minutes road. Okay, going back is just a 2 minute or 3 minute road. Similarly, if that person first time took this much time of getting addicted, so they're again going to get addicted is going to be very quick. Why? Because that person now know how addiction works. Okay, now he can get easily know what quantity he is. You don't have to decide quantity. He is not in fear of any kind, or he is not having any kind of second thought about it. He just know, okay, that this is going to happen and this is much amount I required. So relapse happen very quickly. So we have to monitor relapse also. Okay, now there's positive reinforcement which is very required. Okay, so there are clients I have dealt with, and when there was if we follow a great intervention plan, we have set a SMART goal for that client, and we have discussed all that. There was a core belief attached to his addiction. When we triggered that core belief, for that to knowing that core belief, there was still a longer procedure where we have to detox it first. Physically we have to manage it, behaviorally we have to manage it, then we go into a psychological level where he shared us stuff and we started talking, we build a rapport, and now that person, like it's being 2 or 3 years, he haven't relapsed yet. Okay, so learn habit should be encouraged in that person. If we while treating that person, if we have made him learn some habits, we have to reinforce that habit. We have to provide positive feedback for that habits, so that behavioral changes could happen to that child or to that addicted person. Okay, cognitive, if there's faulty thinking, okay, we have talked about CBT, so you guys know how to repair cognitions now, because you guys are very skilled counselors right now. Okay, so faulty thinking is there, where person is having have a behavioral abnormality, at the same time there are thought attached to that my father behaves in a certain manner to me, that's mean, I think he hates me. Okay, so there can be a thought, or there can be a autonomic thoughts which we have to deal with in cognitive part. Also there are stuff like when the client I was talking about, so similarly at that time that client was not aware of his core belief. Okay, there was a emotional deep root associated with his grandfather having a great was a great figure in society, and he used to smoke a pipe. Okay, so knowing that, because of that, somehow it psychodynamically, after that of his grandfather, psychodynamically activated in his mind, and that's why he started having a all kind of addiction he has done. Okay, and at the same time he was a very helpful person, though addict, but still if someone wants some help from that person, he is always there for them. Okay, now family is very required. We have seen in when we were working in de-addiction centers, so when the client, okay, we call him clients, when the client meet their family, they are very aggressive. Okay, because there are so much rage associated with family at the same time. The role of family is, that's why, is very important. When the person settles up with the family in the rehabilitation center, then that person have less chances of getting relapsed. Okay, if the person is not managed and not having a managed conversation with his family or society, then that person, society is like, if there's some people also along with family is there, so if he's not managed its emotion with them, then it is very tough for that person to get cured of addiction. So family therapy is required, where we manage the family, make them understand that this is a brain disease, it's not something which is which is not like, because people don't understand what it is. Okay, they think that it is because of some black magic or some kind of stuff, so they also get involved in that kind of stuff. So we have to heal the relationship, and we have to provide family counseling. We have to maintain hierarchy if there's hierarchy. If my consider if the father is drinking, now in hierarchy the son who is under in if we go by hierarchy, so son is under the father, but because of father's drinking habit, now son is the lead of the family. Okay, so there is a dynamics which are disfigured. Okay, so dysfunctional families, we have to treat them, we have to heal them. Okay, we have to provide counseling, therapy, community support is also required. Okay, at the same time involving loved ones and enhance long-term success. Okay, so if we are involving every loved ones, if there's couple associated, okay, so if the partner is there and supporting that person, so yeah, the growth is very good. Okay, so collective awareness reduces we have to collect collective awareness is required. We have to do community based rehabilitation program. We have to aware community about this addiction and stuff, and we have to reduce stigma about it, because what the thing is, this still it is in trend. Okay, still it is available in market, still it is there in market. You never know who from your family, or if you, who is going to buy alcohol or some kind of stuff, or get involved in porn addiction or some kind, because this is not completely, it is not something which is in our hypothesis. It is real, it is present on earth, it is available in market, and anyone can purchase it. Okay, so that is why we can't just say that it is we can't treat it as a stigma. It is not something which is not on the land and someone is bringing from somewhere. Okay, it is there, and it is so here. If we are having same kind of similar kind of feelings or similar kind of trauma that person have, we could have developed a drinking habit, or we could develop a kind of addictive habits. So yeah, always know it, be a good citizen, help people who are in need. Thank you, that's all from my side. Let's meet in live classes.